The Landlady.
Vivify Studio Stories.
1, 2, 3, 4.
A group of 5 tourists from Austria gone missing, Miranda read out loud. The news further read that the local police authorities are searching for the 5 tourists who went missing on the 6th of October. Miranda lowered down her Sunday newspaper. I hope they find the 5 lost souls. Miranda picked up the dishes from the table and took them to the sink for washing. This is the second time people have gone missing from the Alps of Matterhorn. Don't worry. The authorities are looking for the missing people, exclaimed Clark. Miranda smiled at Clark and started continuing washing the dishes. Hey, Mom, exclaimed Agatha, Miranda's daughter. Oh, hey, honey. How are you doing? Questioned Miranda. What do you want for the breakfast? Just the usual eggs and bread, answered Agatha. Agatha took the seat next to Clark. I will get it right away, replied Miranda. Clark was halfway through his breakfast. Hey, Dad, Agatha exclaimed. Me and my friends have decided for a road trip to the Alps of Matterhorn, and I wanted your permission for the trip. Oh, that's a wonderful plan, exclaimed Clark. I think you should certainly go for the trip. What did you say? Where are you going? Miranda questioned. Well, me and my friends have decided for a camping trip to the Alps of Matterhorn. You are certainly not going, Miranda declared. But why, Mom? Amanda cried. These are the same Alps from where the Austrian tourist got lost. Mom, if some people have gotten lost, it doesn't mean I will also get lost, Agatha blurted out. Mom, let me go, please, Agatha requested. You are not going. It's not safe to go to these Alps at this time of the year, Miranda cried. Mom, we will have a tour guide with us who will guide us on everything. You don't need to worry about anything. Dad, ask Mom to let me go with my friends. Everyone is going, Agatha uttered. Honey, I guess you are overreacting, Clark exclaimed. I think it's good if Agatha wants to go out with her friends for a few days. It will be a good getaway for her, Clark exclaimed. But honey, it's not safe up in the Alps at this time of the year, Miranda uttered. People are getting lost with no sign of their whereabouts anywhere. Miranda, if a few guys have forgotten their way back home, doesn't mean that our Agatha would lose her way back home too. And secondly, she is not alone. She will be accompanied by her friends. Don't worry, she is a big girl, Clark reassured Miranda. Okay, if you say so, Miranda continued. But you should better stay connected throughout the trip, young lady, Miranda murmured, staring into Egghead's gleaming eyes. Yes, Agatha shouted in excitement. Thanks, Dad, Agatha hugged Clark. By the way, when are you friends planning for the trip? Questioned Miranda. This Thursday, replied to Agatha. Well, Thursday is around the corner. You should better start packing then, Clark exclaimed. Agatha hugged Clark and Miranda tightly and hurried back to her room to pack her stuff for the trip. Agatha was uber excited for the trip, but Miranda, on the other hand, seemed concerned about Agatha going on this trip. The day finally arrived when Agatha would be departing for the trip. It was Thursday. Agatha had packed all her stuff. Agatha's friends gathered at her place for departure. The house echoed with the laughter and chattering of Agatha's friends. Everyone made sure if they had packed the luggage properly. Agatha and her friends had booked a minivan for the trip. The minivan was loaded with everyone's luggage. And as for the road trip, the friend had decided to take turns driving. The first in turn was Samantha, Agatha's friend, who would be driving. Agatha and her friend embarked on the road trip. Everyone waved goodbye to Clark and Miranda. Agatha hugged Miranda and told her not to get worried, as they would return safe and sound from the trip. The 5 adventurous friends embarked on the road trip to the Alps that had gained quite the reputation. With their backpacks stuffed full of snacks, cameras, and a mixture of excitement and trepidation, the friends piled into an old yet reliable van. The driver, Samantha, possessed a fearless spirit and had a genuine fascination with the Alps. She eagerly maneuvered the winding roads that led them deep into the heart of the mountainous side, where the Alps waited for their arrival. As they neared the outskirts of the town, a dense fog descended, mysteriously engulfing the van. The air grew heavy, and an unsettling silence wrapped around them, creating an atmosphere brimming with excitement. Agatha and her friends had been planning this epic road journey for months, eagerly anticipating the thrill and the beauty that awaited them. Little did they know, their adventure would take an unexpected twist. Agatha and her friends excitedly chattered about conquering the slopes and immersing themselves in the breathtaking alpine landscapes with their GPS confidently guiding them. They embarked on their journey with joyous laughter and high spirits. The winding road snaked through the picturesque countryside, offering enchanting views of rolling hills and charming villages. The friends reveled in the beauty around them, capturing every moment with their camera and filling the air with their boisterous camaraderie. The 5 friends had meticulously planned their trip, packed their skiing gear, and loaded up their car with excitement bubbling in their hearts. Samantha took the wheel while Agatha sat beside her, turning on the radio for some lively tunes. Other 3 friends sat in the backseat, eagerly gazing out of the windows, imagining the snow-covered slopes they'd soon be gliding down as they drove down the snow-laden roads. Our picturesque winter wanderlust surrounded them. The scenery was too ethereal, with snow-covered pine trees lining the roads, casting long shadows over the icy landscape. The friends saved every moment, feeling grateful to be admiring such natural beauty. However, fate had something unexpected in store for the friends that day. Just as they were approaching a particularly windy stretch of the road, the car hit a patch of block ice. The tires lost control, strange traction causing the vehicle to swerve uncontrollably. Fear struck their hearts as they spun across the road, nearly avoiding a collision with oncoming traffic. Despite Samantha's quick reflexes, the car skied off the road and came to a screeching halt against a tree. The impact jolted everyone inside, leaving them momentarily dazed and shaken. Thankfully, the 5 friends escaped the accident with only minor injuries and a major fight. As the shock subsided, they assessed their situation. The car was lodged deep in the snow. It stirred embedded in a drift, making it impossible to dislodge. They were miles away from the nearest town, and the temperature was dropping rapidly, amplifying their growing concern. Unfazed by the prediction, Agatha donned a determined smile. She knew that the adventure was not over yet. She ventured out into the surrounding snow, searching for any signs of help. Meanwhile, Elizabeth wrapped Emily and Lucas in extra blankets to keep them warm. Minutes turned into hours, and hope began to dwindle. Just as despair was about to settle in, a glimmer of light caught Agatha's hope, as she spotted a hotel in the distance. With renewed energy, she fought through the deep snow, reaching the humble dwelling just as the sun began to set. To her great amazement, a kind-hearted elderly woman greeted her at the door. She listened intently to her story and offered her assistance without hesitation. Not only did she give Agatha a warm meal and a hot drink, but she also offered 5 friends a cozy place to stay until help arrived. Graduate overflow in Agatha's heart. As the 5 of the friends settled into the warmth of the hotel, the elderly lady was the hotel landlady named Matilda. She was an elderly woman known for her pleasant demeanor and charming smile. Matilda's cozy establishment, with its inviting fireplace and comfortable rooms, would attract every traveler seeking solace from the harsh winter winds. Matilda warmly welcomes the guests who arrived at her hotel. The hotel emerged from the mist, its grandeur, and it stood tall. As the 5 friends ventured inside, their gazes met tarnished chandeliers drenched in cobwebs, creaking floorboards, and dimly lit corridors casting long shadows. The air seemed to thicken, as if they could taste the lingering presence of spirits. Their footsteps echoed against the peeling wallpaper-lined hallways, each creak of the floor causing goosebumps to ripple across their skin. Mrs. Matilda led them to their rooms. The rooms were filled with rich antiques and mementos from a bygone era. As they settled in, Agatha, the observant member of the group, couldn't shake the unsettling feeling that something was terribly wrong. Unable to register growing curiosity, Agatha decided to explore the hotel discreetly while her friends adjusted in their rooms. As she carefully wandered through the narrow hallways, strange noises acquired from hidden corners. "Is there something wrong?" a squeaky voice questioned. Agatha startled on hearing the voice, and as she turned around, she saw Matilda standing. "No," replied to Agatha, "nothing is wrong." "That is your room, then," Agatha replied, pointing at the room next to Agatha. "I wouldn't suggest you wandering like this in the corridors," murmured Matilda. Agatha nodded and went into her room. The room was adorned with faded wallpaper and cobwebs, hang from the ceiling, creating an eerie ambiance. Agatha dusted the old, ragged blanket that laid on the bed. The room emitted a pungent smell of decayed wood, and wall had chipped off paint patches. It was late afternoon, and it was getting dark. Agatha and her friends felt tired and feverish due to the hectic day. Agatha and Samantha took one room, and the rest of the 3 friends occupied the other room. It was past 8 o'clock. As soon as the clock struck 9, strange occurrences began. Door creaked shut by an unseen force. Gust of icy wind blew through closed windows, and unnerving whispers echoed down the endless halls. Unfazed by the eerie ambiance, the friends decided to explore the hotel and uncover the truth behind the hauntings. As night fell, the friends armed themselves with flashlights and started exploring the hotel. As Agatha and her friends wandered through the dark corridors of the hotel, they noticed peculiar, strange noises acquired through the walls. At night, under the cloak of darkness, they explored the forbidden corners of the house. As their exploration progressed, Agatha and her friends started hearing murmurs and footsteps, as if someone was following them. But it didn't stop here. The atmosphere grew increasingly sinister, as they couldn't shake the feeling that they were being constantly watched. Agatha and her friends stumbled upon a hidden door that led to Mrs. Matilda's secret room. Agatha knocked the door, but the door seemed stuck, as if the door hadn't been opened for quite some long time. Agatha and her friends forcefully barged into the room. Inside, they discovered the chilling collection of newspaper clippings and the pictures of the 5 tourists from Austria who went missing. What are these pictures doing in Mrs. Matilda's hotel's secret chamber? Agatha's friends shrugged in disapproval. We don't know, answered Samantha. The atmosphere became more peculiar when Agatha came across the picture of the tourist dead bodies. Agatha puked on seeing the gruesome images of the tourist. There was something very sinister about the hotel. It seemed as if the walls of the hotel were hiding a dark secret that was waiting to be unraveled. Agatha shoved pictures into her bag. What are you doing? Questioned one of her friends. Well, we do need to take these pictures to the authorities who are searching for these tourists as evidence, replied to Agatha. Agatha and her friends inspected the secret chamber more carefully, and to their great astonishment, they found more pictures of human dead bodies. With their details, the chamber seemed like a slaughterhouse. But who are these people? Inquired Lucas. These are all the people who vanished from the Alps, answered Agatha. Now I get it where all these people are vanishing, whispered Agatha. It is Matilda who is committing these gruesome murders. These are all her guests who once stayed at her hotel. These are images of her victims and all the murders she had committed throughout the years. Shocked and terrified, they realized that they were trapped with the ruthless on a loose murderer Mrs. Matilda's dark secret was out now. Behind her composed facade, Matilda harbored an insatiable thirst for power and control, which fueled her sinister desire. Guests arrived at her hotel seeking respite from their daily lives. They were drawn by its illustrious charm, unaware of the danger waiting within its walls. Little did they know once they checked in, material does an insidious game would begin. Agatha and her friends uncovered Matilda's dark secret and her twisted game of murder. Mrs. Matilda was a merciless serial killer, preying on unsuspecting guests and using the hotel's hidden chambers to hide gruesome deeds. Mrs. Matilda welcomed her guest with a warm smile, offering luxurious rooms, Matilda's striking silver hair, and a gentle voice covering her dark desires. Every time a new guest checked in, Matilda's twisted dark desire grew stronger. Matilda's first unsuspected victim was a young woman, namely Emily. This innocent traveler arrived exhausted. Seeking refuge from the chaos of her troubled life, Matilda offered comforting charm that no one could resist. Little did Emily know that her choice to stay at her guest house would be her last. The secret chamber became the stage for Matilda's chilling performances. She lured Emily into her chamber as unsuspecting Emily entered Matilda, swiftly, silencing her forever. The blade of a dagger gleaming in the flickering candlelight. Days turned into weeks, and the sinister pattern continued. More victims fell prey to Matilda's twisted desire, each one serving as a macabre trophy in her twisted collection. The townspeople became increasingly suspicious as whispers of missing travelers circulated, causing an uneasy tension to settle over the town. So, you found my secret little chamber? A squeaky voice echoed. 5 of the friends turned around and found themselves confronting Matilda. Matilda stood in the doorway with the gleaming knife in her hands. With a chilling smile, Matilda lunged towards Agatha. Agatha jumped out of the way. You will not get away with this, howled Matilda. Saying this, Matilda once again slashed the knife and attempted to kill the friends. But this time, Agatha and her friends were ready to confront Matilda. Lucas smashed Matilda's head from the back. Matilda fell onto the ground unconscious. Agatha gathered all the pictures and evidence that she could gather from Matilda's secret chamber. Agatha and her friends ran to the nearest police station with the evidence and handed over the evidence to the police. The police, on seeing the evidence, arrested Mrs. Matilda. The people of the town celebrated freedom from Mrs. Matilda's reign of terror. The guest house, once a sanctuary of death, was forever closed and transformed into a memorial reminder of the lives lost and the horror they endured. As for Agatha and friends, they returned home safe and sound. Hey there, beautiful bookworms. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Your likings help this channel a lot. Have a great good night's sleep.